Hi everyone. I hope you are all really great and you're having a good day wherever you are in the world and whatever day it is you're watching this video. So I wanted to jump on and share this brief video. I hope it's going to be brief. Um, and share some insight and some information that I have been channeling and receiving the last while, that may be of some assistance to many of you if you are experiencing difficulties with any type of mental loops or mental dis-ease or mental anguish at the moment right now. And these will manifest in different ways for different people, depending on their personalities and also depending on um, their genetic bloodlines and their own soul contracts. However, trying to be as general as possible so this will resonate with most. I have called this piece, and I popped it up on my social media page on Facebook, The Separation of Self. So if you don't know me and you don't know the work that I do, brief introduction. My name is Mairead Gilmartin. I live in the northwest of Ireland and I work as a channeler for my higher self. I bring through a lot of information via my higher self, my soul self. I connect with multidimensional aspects of myself and my soul, and also connect with high vibrational energies, angelics, celestial beings, soul families, galactic families, and everything I see and feel in the energy field is through vibrational energy. And with that in mind, I'm able to bring through a lot of information and guidance and clarity that may be needed. I offer private one-to-one sessions internationally through Zoom, and I also offer private sessions in person in Sligo in Ireland. So if you like any of the work that I do and it resonates with you and you would like to book a session, please send me a message in the email below that I will post on this YouTube channel. So I've called this piece The Separation of Self. I have held a lot of workshops online, and I'm working on having some retreats in person very soon. However, this has been a piece that I've been working on for quite some time and trying to bring it through as clearly as I can. So let's try if I can do this today. It'd be great. This has been sitting with me the last few days, and I've been guided to bring this through. I did a post yesterday, and I was guided this morning to bring this through on a video as well. So it's called The Separation of Self. Have a little sip of my coffee. Sometimes as I bring through information, I will channel some light language as well, just to help the information have more clarity for me. So the separation of self is when I see and read the energy field, we all have four energetic systems in our bodies. We have clearly the physical one, that we live in the physical body. We have the emotional body, the mental body, and we have our spiritual bodies. So our spiritual bodies, the oversoul aspect of us, is navigating life through this 3D matrix, through this 3D carbon body here. So I don't see anything separate in the energy field. I see and feel everything through a vibrational pattern. And if anything is of a low vibration, it's quite heavy and dense. It could be heavy, deep emotions, uncomfortable feelings, pain, discomfort, disease. All of that is a vibrational field that I see as quite dense, so it vibrates very slowly and low, and it's a heavy energy. And then things that are moving up in that field, then as the vibration moves up, are more expansive. So this energy be quite small and contracted. More expansive energy then is moving up into the light, love, healing. So happiness, joy, peace, tranquility, all of those wonderful gorgeous feelings that we have in our bodies that we want to hold on to a lot of the time. That's our expansive energy, and I see and feel that as a high vibration. And with that in mind, then I feel the layers of the different energetic fields. So I don't feel that the physical body is separate from the mental body. I feel that physical ailments and diseases and disorders directly interlink and intertwine with mental diseases and disorders, and vice versa. So I don't see them as being two separate entities, so to speak. People suffer with mental illness or people suffer with physical illness. I feel there is a merging and an engaging between the two. So, for example, you're suffering with a lot of physical pain in the body, it's going to bleed in, so to speak, into all the other aspects of the bodies, including the mental body and the emotional body. So the emotional body is where we store every emotion that we have ever experienced in our lives. So how does disease and disorder occur in the body? I'm shown that, we have the old saying, I think, therefore I am. So our thoughts bring about belief systems, and those belief systems then become ingrained in our body as our truth. So I've worked with a lot of thought processes and trying to break down thought processes in the past myself personally, and also working with clients. However, I've been shown the last, year or so, as I was working deeper and deeper with clients and with women in a program called Empowering Women, that there was more layers to unearth here. And I was shown that for most root causes for any type of suffering in the body, either in the mental body or the physical body, the root and the core cause of this comes and stems from the emotional body. And this led me then on a pathway of unraveling deeper the aspects of the emotional body and the power that our emotions have over us and govern us and can affect every single aspect of our lives. And essentially, we suffer. So the emotional aspects are everything that we have ever experienced since birth and in the womb and birth in this life has been stored within our bodies. Like a data system, I see it being stored somewhere. And if these emotions were of very low density, so there was a lot of pain there was traumas there was deep upset, there was suffering, there was hurt there, we were neglected or abandoned, or had really felt hurt on some levels. If we did not get the opportunity, which most of us have not, to openly voice and release and express those emotions as and when they arise. So emotions are like, if you can imagine, a sea, an ocean. The ocean is very much known as the emotional body. What is the ocean governed by? Governed by the tides, are governed by the moon, the lunar cycles of the moon. She's a beautiful, divine, feminine body. So the emotions are like the rising and falling of the waves. We're meant to move through them. They're not stationary. When emotions become stationary, they're stagnant. They don't move. There's a natural flow here. We are meant to organically and naturally move in and out of emotional states softly. So we move through fear and then we come back into light and love. We move through anger and we come back into center. We move through rage, we come back into center. What happens is, if these are suppressed, if we are not allowed to express them in a healthy environment, as and when these emotions are rising up through us, they get blocked, they don't get an expression, they don't get a release out of the body, they're not heard, and we learn to store them down into the body. So we're storing them literally. So this is all obviously happening subconsciously. This is not happening, we're deciding to stick it in there. It's been stored. And then over time, this is going to start creating havoc. So can you imagine our body since, before we were born, if even if we had some traumas in the womb. There's studies going back to showing that babies can experience traumas in the womb, traumas at childbirth. There's so much that we are not aware of in our conscious mind. However, the body, the memory within the body and the emotional body has a memory there, it stores it all. So this is very much a play here and governing a lot of what's happening. So how do we begin to release this? Because what's happening is we're storing all of this energy. We're not allowing it to come up, to be expressed, to be released. And how do we do that? We move it through the heart and we express that. I'll go into that a little bit in a bit. So over years, then we are storing in all this repressed energy. Then we're moving through, everybody is going to be unique for this. We're all going to have our own stories, our own circumstances. We all come from different backgrounds, different countries, different ethnic groups, different, cultures. And a lot of us will not have been taught to freely express our emotions. It's quite the opposite. In many aspects and places of society, we're taught to repress our emotions. So it becomes a normal way for us. It's a normal thing not to express exactly how you're feeling when you're feeling it. It's a normal thing to put on a mask, so to speak, and smile and pretend to everybody that everything is fucking roses and daisies when it's not. And this is not stepping into your authentic truth. This is trying to fit into society, to play a role there, while inside we could be screaming because we're suffering so much from all this repression. So this then moves in, okay, so it moves in, the emotional body has stored it, and then it becomes saturated. It moves in through our mental body, it moves in through our physical body. I see the mental body energetically like a shimmering silver shroud around the energy field. And this is how we project our thoughts and our belief systems within ourselves and how we project them out to the world. And remember, the universe, the laws of the universe, to always say yes to us wherever we are at and whatever energy we're resonating in. So the universe is going to say back yes to us and how we think and how we believe and how we see our self-worth in the world. So over, years of suppression of the emotional body, what it does is it moves through the mental body and it starts to dull our energy. It starts to slow down the mental body. We instantly, because of the emotional turmoil, because of the upset that we have held in the body, it bleeds in, so to speak, into our thought processes. So, for example, if you had an experience that happened to you in a child and made you feel very frightened or very afraid, and you go to your parent and you try and express what it was, and maybe they don't listen to you, or maybe they shout at you, or maybe they don't support you in whatever way you needed at that time, then well, if I'm having this feeling or this emotion again, it's not going to be a safe place for me to express it, so I'm going to store it in. And that over time then moves into a thought process that, okay, I'm having this emotion, I can't tell my mom or my dad because they're not going to listen to me, so nobody listens to me. So these moves into a thought process, starts to begin and develop, and eventually over time our thoughts become our belief systems, and what we believe about ourselves becomes our truth. So if we are starting to develop a thought process that leads to a belief system that we are not listened to, we are not worthy, nobody's going to understand me, whatever it is, this then taints and distorts our mental body that flows through us. So then the universe is saying yes to us. Okay, so law of the universe is the universe will always say yes to us in whatever we are resonating energetically. So if we're resonating a thought process and a belief system that I'm not good enough, I am unworthy, all of that, then the universe is going to reflect that which is our truth, because that's what we have brought into ourselves on, subconsciously. is going to say yes to us, and it's going to bring us more experiences where we're going to even say, yes, see, this is why I'm not good enough. So we're attracting that which we are resonating. Not only does it kind of move through the mental body, it will also move into the physical body. So depending on the person, depending on their genetics and their bloodline, there's a lot of other deeper aspects at play here. It will move into different areas of the body. So the mental, maybe some people may carry it more in the mental body, some people may carry it more in the physical body. So then moving into the cells of the physical body where it starts to stagnate and hold on and create a lot of problems in the physical body. Pain, for example, inflammation, disease and disorders in the physical body. What is it? That is it's an accumulation of unexpressed emotions, dense, heavy energy stuck within the body. And the body is so intelligent and so clever that the body's actually showing you, it's giving you guidelines, it's giving you some clues as to what is actually happening. So depending on what part of your body is experiencing pain, it is literally showing you, look, this is not working in me. There is pain, there is stagnant energy, there's inflammation here. It's showing you. And you are then allowing yourself, if should you choose to tap in and see what's really going on here, find the root cause of it. So for example, digestive issues, irritable bowel being, a very common issue right now in many people. What is it? So of course there's outer environment, is the food we are eating. What is it that is I'm putting into my body? There's a lot of, processed foods. There's a lot of additives in food right now. Our first step would be to look at the foods we are eating and am I feeding myself nutritious food. However, if all of these are ruled out and there's still no change, then you're looking deeper and saying, okay, it's not what I'm putting into my body, it's what's happening within my body. Tuning in deeper then, feeling where about in the body is it? Is it high? Is it low? So the tummy is around, clearly our digestion. What is it that I cannot stomach that's happening in my life right now? What is it I am unable to digest? What is it experience that have happened through my life that I've not dealt with emotionally that I cannot digest or assimilate or understand? The gut is a powerful part of our body. The gut is where is our intuition, our intuitive instincts. The gut is also known as the second brain. So what is happening here? What is it? We can hold a lot of fear in the gut. We can hold a lot of anxiety and worry in the gut. When we don't feel safe in our bodies and in our lives and in our environment, we can tighten up. So literally we're going between constipation and diarrhea. So constipation is the inability to flow, to release and to surrender and to trust the flow of life. We are holding on, literally, we're holding the shit on to not let it go. And then the diarrhea is extreme fears of releasing. So there's an imbalance of the flow there. And this is an opportunity, should you choose to look into, tap deeper and find out, how can I find that balance? What is the emotions around this and where did it begin? Finding back to the root of when you first started to experience these emotions will be key to releasing them. The separation of the self is a very, very, for me, it was a very powerful insight that I received from my guides. And I'm going to share this with another cup of coffee. I sip of coffee, won't go get a cup of coffee. So the separation of the self is moving deeper into the mental body. And if anybody suffers with mental anguish, mental diseases or disorders, I'm not going to name any specific. Everybody has got their own take on it. And if this resonates for you, it's wonderful. And it doesn't, let it move through you. We're all very individual and on our own journey. However, for me, this really made sense for me and for a lot of clients that I've worked with. So what I seen in the energetic field of the mental body was parts of us that have experienced so much trauma that it has moved us into a belief system. So remember, if there's things coming at us from outside in our environment, there are people, there's places, there's circumstances that are continuously projecting their own anger and crap onto us. And then we are taking this on to be our truth, that it's something wrong with us, it's unworthy, we're unworthy, whatever it may be, the language we use. This then is moving in through the mental body. It's becoming our thoughts and it's becoming our belief systems. When this happens, then we literally are taking on all of this, all other people's projections of what happened to us. We're taking it into our bodies, we're taking it into our mind, into the mental body, and it's becoming our truth. And then over time, this mental body will in fact begin to split off from itself. And what this is like energetically is it's like fractals of our own soul energy is kind of split out from the body in the energetic field. And we literally turn this mental energy back in onto ourselves. So we become our own critics. We become our own bullies. We become our own source of self-sabotage. And so whatever other people have told us, we have took it on and we have allowed it to become our truth and split this away from us. So this mental self-talk, chatter, whatever it is for you or however you see it, sometimes we see it as entities outside of ourselves, turns onto us. And it's literally, we are self-sabotaging ourselves then. This is what I call the separation of self. The clearest way I've been shown to describe this to others was if we were to place a puppet on our hand and we had this puppet and this puppet has turned towards us and it started to attack us. So we are feeling this a mental attack onto us. We're feeling like it's almost coming outside of us that we've no control over. But in the truth and in the reality is this is an extended connection of us. It is us that is turned against itself. What has happened here is this energy is split off from the self. And here, between here, this split off energy, this is trauma. This is deeply suppressed suffering and pain that has been held so deep in the body that we have turned literally away from ourselves. We have wanted to run from it, and it's coming back to attack us literally. So this is I'm seeing as the separation of self. Now, there is many different ways and many different methods of people, and how they deal with this. And, if it resonates for you, then follow that path. For me, I've been shown that the only way for true healing to occur is to find the root of this. Where did this first begin? When did I first begin to experience so much trauma and so much emotional upset? So how we go about this is we don't run from this, we don't battle with this, we don't fight with it because it is us. What we do is we recognize that this part of us is a deeply hurt, deeply neglected part of us that is in need of absolute love and suffering. It is our creation, okay, whether it's not our fault, but it is our creation. It is our responsibility. We have created this. This is our reality we are creating. But we may not believe it to be our truth. We may believe that this is something outside of us, but in absolute truth, this is our creation. So if we can begin to move these aspects of us, the mental body or the physical body, into the heart. The heart is the portal of energy. The heart is where the seat of our soul resides. The heart is where pure healing can take place for each and every individual. Nobody else can do it for you. We can hold space, we can listen, you can vent. However, only you and you alone can reconnect with this powerful heart of yours within. And it's sitting with the heart and it's allowing yourself to move out of this. So if there's a lot of chatter going on, there's a lot of the ego at play, there's a lot of self-sabotage going on, recognizing that this is not the truth of who you are. This is an illusion. It may feel very real, but it's not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are always comes from the heart and from the soul. So as you connect deeper and deeper to the heart of you, you will become more aware that all of these thought processes and all of these distortions in your field are actually complete bullshit. So you're breathing into the heart. And then after a while, when you get used to breathing into the heart, you're gently saying to the emotional part of you, the part of you that is hurting, the part of you that is not being loved, asking that to come forward and saying to it simply, I see you. I see you. Taking a breath with that. How does that feel? We might want to run from it. We might want to run screaming again. We might want to move back up into the mental body, but breathing back into the heart again. I see you, that emotion. I am so sorry that I have not acknowledged you before now. Please forgive me. Forgive me for not seeing you and feeling you in my body before now. And I love you. And it may feel completely bizarre and completely strange at the while. And when I began to practice this myself, I found it very alien to me to sit and tell myself I love myself. It wasn't part of my upbringing to be that way. However, with consistency, with centering, and then what happens is you start to begin to really feel the connection between the heart, the difference between the energy of connecting with the head, or am I connecting with the heart, the truth of who I am? And then over time, this chatter starts to slow down. The breath knows where to go into the heart space, and you start to discern and you start to unlayer and you start to unravel all of the veils of illusion and the masks that you've carried and the stories that you've carried that believed this was your truth. And the same for the physical body, closing your eyes, talking to that pain in the body, because we are usually doing the opposite. We're usually angry with that part of our body. You know, I suffered chronic back pain for many years, and I used to be so fucking angry every time it went. So instead of being angry with it, speaking to that part of the body, because it's a part that's showing you there is suppressed energy here, showing you there is suppressed emotions here. I see you and I feel you, and I'm so sorry. We don't have to know the exact memories attached to it. We don't have to know the exact, that's all part of the ego wanting the answers. All we have to know is that to feel that sensation of energy, feel that emotion that's coming up, and allow it to be expressed. Allow it to come out through tears, allow it to come out through screams, allow it to come out through anger, through rage in a positive way. Allowing it to come out means you're acknowledging that pain. You're seeing that pain. You're allowing it to be expressed. It's being validated. It's being acknowledged. I am so sorry. I did not see you before now, and I see you. Thank you for showing this to me. And then what will happen is it'll move through the heart and it'll start to dissipate and start to lessen and it'll start to dissolve. And this is practice over and over and over. It's a complete devotion to the self. But believe me, your life will change in ways you cannot imagine because you are taking back your power. You are acknowledging and recognizing that you and you alone are the one creating your reality. You are really stepping into your sovereignty and your responsibility. You are no longer waiting for anybody else on the outside to come and fix you because you don't need that. Everything you need is within you. Yes, ask for support. Yes, ask for guidance along the way. Yes, we're meant to be supportive of each other through any suffering in our lives. However, by acknowledging and being able to hold yourself, hold your pain, be seen, holding it with absolute love will have the most incredible, powerful, transformative results. So that is a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I wanted to share that with you today. I hope it's given some of you some clarity and some guidance. I hope I've relayed the information as clearly as I can. This took me a long time to even put what I was experiencing from my guides to put into language and even to write it. It took a long time. So hopefully it has given you some wonderful guidance that it has given me and clients of mine. Have a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful day. If you love my work, please subscribe. I'm going to pop a nice new video next week for the October energy forecast, see what's in store for us for October. And I'll pop my email below if you're interested in booking me for sessions or finding out about my programs. You can reach out to my email address. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.